So what does it feel like to crack the throttle on our mean 1977 KZ hot rod? Well, come with us because we're about to find out as we visit Bikes and Beards. They review all types of different motorcycles, but owner Sean Kerr has never been on a Kawasaki KZ, and we can't wait to get his reaction to some classic Japanese muscle. How does the KZ stack up to all the different bikes that Sean owns and reviews? We're about to find out. Now remember, this KZ is a little special 1197 big bore kit with 34mm Mikuni carburetors. This thing is fast, but what will Sean think? Let's hope we light him up. Come on, Kawasaki KZ fans, strap on your helmet. We've got to take a ride. Cycle Drag Universe, thank you so much for joining us for another video. As you can see, I got my beloved old school cow out. There's a whole story behind this we're gonna get into. But today, what it's all about is we're here in central Pennsylvania, and there's a really cool guy out there, Sean Kerr, who I just met. He has the channel Bikes and Beards. He also has SRK Cycles. And I told him, I said, man, I love what you're doing. He reviews bikes, he sells bikes. You gotta check out his channel. I said, I think you might need a little old school cow in your life. So I want to take a ride over to his shop. We're going to show you a bunch of his cool bikes. We're going to talk to him. We're going to ask him some questions. Maybe I'll get to ride something, and we'll let him review the beloved 1977 KZ 1197. Let's get that Pingle petcock open and get ready to make some noise. Let's head on over. Old cows never die. Now that we got it warmed up, let's get properly suited up and get ready for the trip over to Landisville to see our man Sean Kerr. You know, what's funny is I lived in central Pennsylvania for 4 years working as a news reporter at the NBC affiliate. I didn't even know Sean was in town. I discovered him only when I moved to California with the magic of YouTube. He's absolutely killing it right now with his dealership and also some really impressive and entertaining YouTube channels. He does great motorcycle reviews, and I'm so excited to see what he thinks about the cow. We finally made it to Bikes and Beards. We're gonna go meet Sean. Let's see if he's around. I've owned this bike since 2001. It even helped me get through college. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, look who I found. There he is in the flesh. Mr. Sean, hey, I want to thank you so much for having me.
Hey, no problem.
Really appreciate it. We love what you're doing on Bikes and Beards, SRK Cycles. I even tried to, this is my best attempt at a beard. I knew I was coming to the right place.
Oh, that's
I figured
awesome.
I better step it up. But man, you're doing a great job. We're telling everybody to check out all the reviews you did. Have you ever reviewed a 1977 Kawasaki?
I don't think I have.
Have you ever had any experience on a KZ?
I think I saw the KZ. What's the turbocharged one?
That would be the Z1R.
The Z1R.
It's a very rare one.
Was there a Z9R?
Yeah, well, it started with the Z900 is how it started.
That's the one that Tom Cruise drove.
Yeah, Tom Cruise loves this bike. Yes, indeed.
Yep. And then...
Well, we know Tom Cruise loves the KZ, but I believe Sean is referencing the GPZ900R that Tom Cruise rode in Top Gun, the first Ninja. Yes, indeed.
Yep. And then I saw the turbo one. The guy would let me drive it. I asked him, I was like, hey, can I test drive your bike? He didn't know who I was. I was like, hey, can I test drive your bike? And he's like, no, well, of course, why would I let you test drive my bike? But this will probably be my first KZ1000.
Very cool. It's my baby. As I said, it's not quite a 2020. We're dealing with some bugs we're working out. We got no speedo, no tack, no brake light, no turn signals, but
you don't need that.
You'll be okay, right?
I've ridden a lot of Z1000s. Z1000s are cool bikes.
Absolutely. They still do well.
This is a different machine for sure. Like in the 90s, and you know, if people got their hands on this bike, like, you know, in the past 20 years, the first thing they wanted to do is they wanted to paint the fenders. You know what I'm talking about?
Sure.
because this is kind of a dated look. So there was a while where it looked dated, and now it's classic again.
It is.
Now this is like, no, you know, if you find one without painted fenders, it's super cool looking. And this one's not, there's no dents on it or anything.
This one's a hot rod. A lot of people like restoring them to original. They like making them uber stock. Mine's a bit of a hot rod, and it's going to stay that way. But to let you know, as a guy who has a successful dealership, these things, the collector market snuck up on people in the last 10 years. My dad and I are kicking ourselves because we had so many barn finds that we passed on. Value of these like tripled right now at Mecum Auction. Everybody wants one. If you ever see anything vintage Japanese for a decent price, gobble it up.
Cool, yeah, I love this stuff.
It's a lot of fun. And the backstory here too is we know that motorcycles first came about as transportation, people putting engines on bicycles. Honda was the first one to really take the 4-cylinder performance to the next level with the CB. And it was in 1973 that Kawasaki came out with the Z1. That just changed the world as we know it. It was a secret project in Japan called the New York Steak because they know Americans love bigger, badder, faster, excess. And ever since that bike came out, then we saw the GS, then we saw the GSXR, eventually would see
CBRs.
Yeah, they all came from this.
And let me correct myself on the year. I always say 73, but technically the world launch of the Z1 was in September of 1972, with the first shipment going to Australia in October of that year.
So cool. I'm excited. You do such a great job reviewing bikes. I'm excited to see what you think about it.
I do my best. Do my best.
And how about the tremendous success on YouTube? I mean, what can you say about that?
Very blessed. YouTube's been very good to us.
Yeah, check out his channel. They do a lot of cool things over there. And check it out, 336,000 subscribers and headed for a whole lot more.
Keep on pumping out content. You know, the goal with that is we always try to just come up with better content and always trying to improve, just like anything else. If I was making the stuff I was making 3 years ago, I wouldn't be where I'm at. And hopefully in 3 years from now, I'm making significantly better content than what I am right now. So I appreciate all the people that watch the channel. It means a lot to us.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. You're going to be at 1 million subscribers someday, real soon. I guarantee you that.
We're hoping so.
And one thing that I find funny is I discovered you from California. And I'm like, I lived in Lancaster for 4 years. How did I not know that you were here?
That's pretty wild.
So I do want to compliment you on the reach, though. If I'm out in California and I'm a motorcycle guy and I'm getting served up your content, you and everybody you're working with, you guys are doing something right.
Oh, yeah, we have a lot of fun with it. We really do.
Awesome, man. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir. All right, if you want to mic up.
Sure.
Mic's on, and Sean was getting some beauty shots for the feature coming on his channel. And just like that, it was time to suit up.
This is it, old school cow power. Do you think this will compare to any motorcycles you've ridden in your life?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to have a CB.
Okay.
750. And then a CB900. Did they make a CB? That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
They made a CB900, didn't they? Yeah.
CB, I know there was the CB750 that was super popular.
They made a CB900.
Okay. Similar bike.
Ridden a lot of bikes. What year is this?
This is 1977.
1977.
Got good power.
Pretty old bike.
It's totally old. Like I said, the engine's all hot rodded out. Those aren't stock carbs. Those are 34 Mikunis. 1197, webcam, a lot of AP parts, big Wiseco pistons. Motor feels great, but I'll let you be the judge since you've ridden so many motorcycles, especially a brand new live wire. That'll be a fun contrast.
I took a road trip on a 1976. What it was? It was the BMW R75.
Sure.
And the biggest thing you notice about the older like 70s and 60s bikes is the brakes are horrible. It's the worst.
Yeah, they're not the greatest.
It was taking me like weeks just to stop.
Well, we're not too bad here. As you can see, that is not a stock Kawasaki part. That's a new one that I put on. Kind of hurt the original look, but the front feels pretty good, all things considering. So we'll let you feel it out. Neutral's tough to find because I have an undercut transmission.
I got it.
So, but feel free, enjoy.
Old school cow power coming your way.
Well?
I just need to get some parts. I found the brake light switch was broken. That'll be an easy fix, and I'll just have to keep working on the turn signals. And there he goes. Be safe, Sean. So I'll tell you, I wouldn't just let anybody hop on that thing. I know Sean's an experienced rider, and I wanted to give him a heads up about the fact that right now we got no tack, no speedo, no brake light, no turn signals. Turn signals, like something's going on there. I got one, but if you put on the right, the left comes on. Other than that, I think I need to troubleshoot. Still working the bugs out. Like I said, it was a complete frame off resto. If you don't believe me on that, check it out. Here is the proof. It was all the way down to the frame, and it's been a challenge for me to get everything back right. I know that the cables still work that go to the speedometer and the tack. I think that the instrument cluster up there may need reworked, reconditioned. I know there are services out there that do it. If you have the hookup, if you know anybody who does it, if you have the hookup on any of the parts that I need, please let me know. The back brake switch is broken. That'll be an easy fix. I can get one of those and fix my back brake light. And just pulled it out of the garage after 5 years of sitting dormant. So it's a work in progress. We'll see what he thinks about it. I'm curious to get his take. My opinion is the power feels great. It's got great power, but some of the things you get used to on the modern bikes obviously aren't going to be there with a 77. If you guys have ever ridden a KZ, please leave your stories down below. I was just thinking, boy, I hope Sean is okay. All right, Sean's been out for a little bit here, 15 minutes. On the positive side, he could really like the bike, or I don't want to think about or. I'm just gonna say a little prayer right now for safety about Sean and my beloved baby. I think we'll see him soon. Hey, here he comes. Excellent. Great job, Sean. Hey, Sean's in one piece, the bike's in one piece. That's a beautiful thing. Let's go back and get his reaction. Helmet's coming off. He's in one piece, the bike's in one piece. That's beautiful.
I dropped it a couple times, so don't worry about it. It'll buff out.
Okay. What'd you think, man?
It was a great bike. It was fun. It pulls good. You know, it feels about, 75, 80 horsepower. Interested to see what the dyno numbers are. It's a lot of fun. Bikes like this, everyone wants to compare them with new stuff. You know what I mean? How does it compare? Can I race my friend in his 600? You know what I mean? It's not, you could, but that's not what it's for. You know what I mean? It's more of an experience.
I agree.
It's more seeing where motorcycles have came and seeing what they've changed to be. Not that this is worse than the new stuff. It's just nice stuff. I drive a 1976 Cadillac Eldorado. I love it. You know what I mean? It's a different vehicle than what I normally drive, and it's still a modern motorcycle. It's got electric start. You know what I mean? That's a modern motorcycle. But it's a lot of fun. It's nice to see kind of put yourself in the place of what people 50 years ago, were riding, and how it felt for them to ride. And then when you hear these old guys talking about, bikes and the stuff they love, you can be like, oh, I rode one of those. I experienced it,
That's right.
It's a lot of fun.
And isn't it humbling to think for a lot of those guys, this was the cream of the crop. This was the ZX14, this was the Hayabusa, this was the blow you away bike in the 70s.
Right.
And you nailed it, because you really can't compare. It's like comparing a 69 Camaro to a new Camaro. There really is no comparison, but the feel.
Right. So it's not about comparing, this to that. It's about comparing how you felt when you rode that bike for the first time, and how someone when they were in their 20s felt riding that bike, and how you felt riding a Hayabusa at the same. That's what you compare to. Sure. But this is just, it's like riding a blast from the past. It's a lot of fun, and it's a cool bike, and we need to keep preserving stuff like this and keeping it around.
I agree. It's amazing how long they last if you take care of them. But as you know, unfortunately, there were a lot left out in the rain and destroyed and gone forever.
No, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure there's hundreds of these things just sitting in someone's backyard right now with bushes all grown up. They would be happy to give away for free. You just got to put some time into getting it running, you know?
No doubt, man. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed your experience out there. All right, so before we go here, I did want to show people the illustrious showroom. You have so many motorcycles. And the interesting thing with you is you were telling me you're a virtual dealership.
Yep. And
with this COVID thing, you might be ahead of the curve. This might be the way we're going. Bring me up to speed on how this works.
Right. Now, I think we're an online dealer, so we ship bikes all over the country. I think that is the way the things are going. What separates us from the other dealerships is that we will do, I've talked to other dealerships, I talked to one guy, he's like, I take one picture per bike and I try to sell it that way. And I'm like, you have no clue what's going on. We take 24 pictures each bike, and then we spend about 5 to 10 minutes doing a high-def detailed walk around, because I don't care. It's not about showing people how good the bike looks or trying to present it as in the best light. It's about showing people what reality is. So we just, if it's got a flaw, most used bikes have flaws. Let me point them out and let the buyer decide whether that's, you know, acceptable to them. And then we price our bikes competitively, and then we ship them all over the country. It's pretty easy to ship, and the truck driver comes up and drops the bike off your doorstep. So that's how we do it, and it's worked out pretty well for us.
I think our grandfathers and even some of our fathers would be taken aback by that, but that's the way the world's going now. Even motorcycles can show up at your doorstep.
Right. Yeah, right now we have a pretty low inventory. This is normally packed. We've been selling bikes like crazy, and working on bringing some new bikes in.
I love it. What's your all-time favorite motorcycle?
That's a tough question. It's a really tough question. I mean, I got a lot of personal bikes. One of my personal bikes is a turbocharged CVO Road King.
Okay.
I of course have a GSXR 600 track bike. One of my favorite bikes, if you were to ask me the question of if I could only ride one bike for the rest of my life, it'd probably be a BMW R1200 GS.
Nice bike.
It's a good all-around bike.
Absolutely.
You ride it year-round. You know what I mean? That they're fun. They're fast. They're very. I really like those bikes, but I can't answer that. If I could answer that question, I would have just had one bike, and I'd be like, I'd do some other job. Because I can't answer that question, I like to ride all the bikes. You know what I mean? So, what's your favorite bike?
Oh man, I'm a Busa owner.
And here is a shot of my Gen 2 Suzuki Hayabusa. It's a lot of fun.
You know, that KZ will be near and dear to my heart. The Busa's really growing on me though. The Busa's tough long distance. I've done it about 600 to 700 miles at a pop, and the Harley guys are like, come on man, we do 1,000 a day. Right. But it's tough to go far on the Busa. But I'll say this, you don't get the snap and the acceleration out of many other bikes like you do the Suzuki Hayabusa.
Right. Now, the Busa's a great bike.
So I love it.
Great bike for sure. Well, cool, man. Thanks for stopping by.
I do. And before, one thing I got to ask, because I know somebody's going to ask about it, over our shoulder. You got a Formula One car in here? What is that?
That's an Ariel Atom. Specifically the Ariel Atom 2. That has a 2-liter. It's the Ecotec engine, so it's a 260 horsepower to the wheels. 0 to 60 sub 3 seconds. Fairly rare vehicle, and when I'm done with it, it's going to be around 400 to the wheels. You're awesome, man.
Very cool. So we appreciate you making time for us here. Where can people follow you if they're just discovering you right now?
Just search for SRK Cycles or bikesandbeards.com.
You the man. You ever want to come to a drag race? Can we tempt you to come on out?
Maybe. Yeah, I got a couple bikes I need to figure out what they're running.
Well, we'll hook it up, man. Thanks again. I appreciate you making time.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you.
So there you have it. Sean's been on a lot of different motorcycles, and that is his reaction to our 1977 Kawasaki KZ1000. And how about Sean's dealership? I believe Sean is really ahead of the curve with this all virtual model. You can get a motorcycle shipped right to your house after checking out his many pictures. Well guys, that was a really cool experience. Again, I'd really like you to check out Sean's channel if you haven't already. Bikes and Beards, SRK Cycles. He's got some awesome stuff on there, and I really want to thank him for making some time for me. He's a cool guy. We're going to try to get him to the drag races. Could you imagine getting him out in front of Larry Spider-Man McBride's bike?
some of these pro street bikes. Or a pro mod, I think you would really enjoy it. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you have any stories about the classic Z1 KZ GPZ up the line, let us know and leave it below. And please, if you get a chance, if you have not already, hit subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you like CycleDrag.com on Facebook, and we'll keep the good content coming, because you know, if there's anything fast motorcycles involved, especially old school cows and bikes and beards, we are in. The motorcycle story never ends, and Cycle Drag rolls on.
Wait a minute, is it the legendary Jesse James? Are you really the legendary Jesse James?
Sometimes, only in my own mind.
What do you got on your hat?
Cycle Drag.
You're the man. Do you watch the Cycle Drag YouTube channel?
No, but you should.
We hope that you'll start watching, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the legend is here. How are you doing, sir?
I'm cycle dragging. That's what I'm doing. Cycle dragging forever and ever and ever.
You are the man. Sweep the leg, right?
Sweep the leg, no mercy, and cycle dragging.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you for subscribing to Cycle Drag on YouTube and liking CycleDrag.com on Facebook. Let's do some riding. You know, if there's anything fast motorcycles, we are in Cycle Drag. Rolls on. Rolls on indeed, and what a great time it was at SRK Cycles. Make sure you check them out. If you're in the market for anything, you will be astounded at what great deals Sean offers. Tell him Cycle Drag sent you, and we hope Sean enjoyed his cruise on our prized KZ1097 with the big 395 webcams, 34mm Mikuni carburetors, APE valve springs. I think it put a smile on his face. It's a fun old piece of nostalgia, and like Sean said, it gives us a little glimpse into yesteryear, what it must have been like for riders in the late 70s. Had a lot of fun doing this. If you had one, if you knew somebody that had one, if you have any stories involving this bike, this era bikes, make sure you leave that in the comments. We want to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope we provided you with a little bit of entertainment. That's always what we aim to do. We love motorcycles. You love motorcycles. Let's keep this thing growing. Check it out, guys. Up here on the wall, 100,000 subscribers. I love it. Thank you so much. It's all because of you. We appreciate it. Please come with any story ideas. We love the comments and the feedback. I read every single one of them. The positivity is always appreciated. And you haters out there, I love you too, because you keep me on my toes. Thank you for watching no matter what. Guys, to keep this thing growing, please subscribe to Cycle Drag on YouTube, hit the bell for notifications, share with some friends who like drag racing, like motorcycles. This is how we can keep this thing going. And also like CycleDrag.com on Facebook, and we'll keep rolling. We'll keep finding those stories. We'll keep finding those impressive high-performance motorcycles that you want to see. Thank you guys so much. Truly appreciate it. You know, if there's anything fast motorcycles involved, we are in. Cycle Drag rolls on. Bikes, beards, and KZs. What a combo. Like, subscribe, comment. We can't wait to hear from you. You know, if there's anything fast vintage motorcycles, we're in. Cycle Drag rolls on.